What's going on, guys? Today we're coming at you with the top 10 foods within a keto diet that you should be eating to lose weight. And we're actually going to break it down. We're going to do 5 that you should not be eating as much of and 5 that you should be eating more of. And we disagree on some of these. We were chatting about this video beforehand. We have differing opinions on some of these topics.
Which is good, because we're different people.
Yeah.
And different things are satisfying to different people.
The first, I think, key point before we get to the list is the frame of reference the internet marketers will have you believe, and just like standard nutrition advice, is you need high fiber, filling foods, low calorie. That's like the game you want to play when you want to try losing weight. Yeah. Low calorie, high volume. Yeah. That's the wrong weight loss model. If you're doing keto, you probably realize that by now. What you want is calorie and nutrient-dense foods, generally. You can have some high-volume foods. Some people like salads for weight loss and stuff like that.
If it's filling, it's filling.
This is probably one of the points we disagree on, actually. Okay, we're going to start with 5 you should not eat. Number 1, the easiest one.
Unanimous.
Nuts. Nut butters. First off, when you're starting keto, you're probably going to be snacking on nuts a lot.
Yeah.
And they just add up fast.
There are good options, so like macadamia nuts, pecans. Those are like the higher fat to lower carb nuts. But if you're not portioning them out, you're going to go overboard really quickly.
So the thing is, food palatability. That's a key factor in good weight loss foods versus bad weight loss foods. Nuts, the food palatability on those is really high. They're easy to eat a lot of.
Yeah.
And they're not that filling.
And then nuts ground up.
Even more palatable.
Into nut butters. Yeah. If you're spooning it into your mouth, there's a problem. And I've been there, and sometimes I still go there, and it's a problem. So if you want to lose weight, don't buy nut butters that you know you're going to overconsume.
If you ever made nut butter at home, it's just like, what happened to all the nuts I put in the blender?
Yeah.
It's the same if you ever made a milkshake. The first time I made a milkshake, I realized, oh my gosh, milkshakes have 4,000 calories in them.
It's just ice cream.
Yeah, it's ice cream and milk blended.
Yeah.
Nut butters and nuts, not really a weight loss food.
Next on the list, number 2 is cheese.
Yeah. You disagree?
I do disagree. A little.
Especially if we're talking like part skim mozzarella from the grocery store, string cheeses, things like that.
I mean, string cheese is fun to eat and it's really not filling at all. So yeah, I can eat like 100 of those.
Yeah, I think just cheese overall, it's really palatable. It's like nature's candy. I don't think people say that, but I'll start saying it.
No one says that. But we get like raw cheese from a local farm, and I do like an ounce or 2 with my lunch.
We're awesome.
No, I'm saying like that's really filling, and it's really tasty.
It is more filling, yeah.
Like it's delicious, but it's not like for me, sweets are like the trigger. Like so, like if I have an ounce of chocolate, I want 17 more ounces. But if I have an ounce of cheese, I'm like, okay, that was good for me. Because it's whole milk. At least get whole milk cheese if you're going to buy cheese. It doesn't have to be raw. And it's, I think, it could be a sound part of your diet.
It could be just the way we use it. A lot of times it's to enhance
Don't
dishes.
make fathead dough.
Yeah, that's a big one. Because that's just a combination of everything. It's like nuts, cheese. Some people will have differing results though. Some people maybe cheese, they eat like a little block and they can't eat for days.
Have you ever seen that image of that woman in like the wheelchair eating like a big block of cheese, just eating the block?
I'll see if I can find that and post it.
Never seen it. Okay. So I would say I wouldn't put it on like the do eat list, but I don't put it on the don't eat list.
Next up, we have baked goods, and Megan wanted to give a special acknowledgement to egg loaf.
I'm sorry, egg loaf.
She made this recently.
Yeah, so I made it like probably like 2 weeks ago. I was like, you know what? I like woke up one day. I was like, Matt, I'm gonna meal prep egg loaf today. It's actually in a vlog. I'm so excited because it's tasty, it's dense in calories. Like, how could this not be the perfect meal prep? Literally just cream cheese, eggs, and butter. And I was eating a quarter of it, which was 500 calories, and it felt like 3 calories. I could have eaten like 3,000 calories in egg loaf and not been full. I've never felt that way about a specific food.
Yeah, you're really passionate about this. I would say in general, though, the baked goods, it's mostly made from nuts. Plus, it's like added sweeteners, as if nuts weren't already easy enough to eat a lot of them on their own. It's like kind of you gotta weigh out the pros and cons. So like the good part of it is it might help you stick to the diet when you need your sweets, because you're coming from a standard American diet. Yeah, but if you're like doing this for a really long time and you're just not losing weight, then it might be the baked goods. Number 4, we strongly disagree on this one. It's going to be berries. I think they are perfectly fine. Yeah, they're sweet. But if you're not having all these other really sweet foods in your diet, I think berries are nature's candy. They're the perfect amount of sweetness. I like to have them. I'm not like extra hungry afterwards or anything like that. So I think berries are fine.
So I guess I can differentiate between frozen and fresh. Fresh berries.
Fresh, yeah, okay.
If I eat an ounce of fresh blackberries, I could keep going. This is always like very personal, and we're not coming from like a factual scientific point of view, so don't get mad at us in the comments. But personally, berries are just like, I can't eat those fresh. Number 5, we also differ on this one, right?
No.
Oh, you agree?
I agree.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Heavy cream.
What's heavy cream?
Yeah, let me see that again. Heavy cream. A lot of people put this in their coffee, and like I've like played around with it. Like sometimes I'll cycle back and I'm like, let me put some cream in my coffee. And 2 tablespoons is like this much, this much.
Not a lot.
And it's not filling at all. And if you're like tracking, that's like 10 grams of fat like too quickly.
When I try to gain weight, I just put like a half cup of heavy cream in my coffee in the morning. These are all tactics. I eat nut butters and stuff to increase the palatability of my food so I can eat more calories and gain weight. So like if you just look textbook bodybuilding, when there's people that have trouble gaining weight, it's like gallon of milk a day, jar of peanut butter a day. Those are the tricks. So those are foods obviously.
Probably together though, because you're choking on nut butter.
Yeah. So those are obviously foods when you're trying to lose weight, the opposite you want to stay away from. I would put most dairy foods in the category of they're very palatable, so they're not great for weight loss. But like a little bit of heavy cream in your coffee, that's not going to kill you, of course.
But it's not going to fill you up either. Or it's not going to fill me up.
And then a bonus one for not to eat, maybe a little more controversial. I'm going to go with chicken.
Yeah.
Because when you really weigh out if you have a steak versus a rotisserie chicken, I eat so much rotisserie chicken in a sitting, where steak, I get like pretty full after like a pound with the fat and stuff. It's tough to overconsume red meat when chicken is just, it tastes really good, so you can eat a lot of it.
Yeah, it's not that fatty, especially chicken breast. Like if we're doing chicken, we'll do like thighs with the skin on. Drumsticks are really good. Those are more filling than breast.
Okay, now we got the foods that you should eat more of.
This is what you probably want to be hearing.
Yeah. So number 1 is going to be eggs. And this was pretty unanimous, easy pick.
If I eat 4 hard-boiled eggs, I'm like full.
Yeah, and there's a reason some people do this egg fast. We have a video doing it. I wouldn't really recommend it, but the whole rationale behind it is like eggs, they're not very palatable. They have a lot of nutrients in them. So if you are really truly hungry, you'll eat more.
Right.
But if you're not, if it's just like more of a habit, like when you watch TV, you eat snacks.
Right.
You don't want to eat the eggs.
Number 2, you guys probably know this as well, red meat. So Matt mentioned steak already, but ground beef, extremely filling.
I would say steak is more filling than ground beef.
Oh, 100. I could eat a lot of ground beef.
Yeah. This is obviously very different from what traditional dieting would say. Traditional dieting says chicken breast, that's a weight loss food. Red meat is more calorie dense, therefore not a weight loss food.
Yeah.
In practice, I have not found that to be the case. Maybe you have, but actually getting like good sound nutrition from red meat makes me fuller. And I need to eat less than if I'm eating chicken breasts all day. So eggs and red meat, the first 2 things, they're pretty calorie dense foods. They're not what you would traditionally think of as weight loss foods.
Yeah, I just looked up weight loss foods on Google today.
What was it?
Celery, cottage cheese, berries.
Oh yeah, okay.
Cottage cheese is very much a weight
I
loss
think
food.
there's something to be said for the really high protein, low fat, low carb foods being weight loss foods, like cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, things like that.
Chicken breast?
Not chicken breast though, really.
But yeah, so all of the weight loss foods were foods we would say like don't eat.
Well, they're just coming from the traditional mindset of you need to feel full from volume. That's not really a sensation humans have experienced much in the past. There's never been this game of like an abundance of calories and we have to trick ourselves into not eating a lot of calories. It's always been the opposite. There's not a lot of calories out there to be had, so we have to seek out the most calorie dense foods possible to sustain ourselves. So like we're in the opposite situation now. Number 3 is going to be soup, something we never really eat, but we've been making it lately.
Well, I ate it a lot before keto.
Yeah.
Because it could be really low calorie.
One day when I tried being an adult, I like bought a can of tomato soup and I made it for myself. This is when I was like 24.
You gotta get chicken noodle progresso or like the chunky, extra chunky.
I've never gotten those. Or bone broth. And these are just filling because I think the minerals that are in there, the sodium, hydration, maybe a little bit of the volume too, like the fluid volume.
Yeah, so we make soup out of the bone broth itself. So like you're hitting all the boxes in like a healthy way. Number 4, so this is one we're up in the air about.
No, I'm not up in the air.
Well,
I'm ride or die for this one.
The consensus is up in the air.
Yeah.
Fat bombs.
So I think these are a weight loss food. I'm pretty stringent about this. The idea, well, depending on how you make them, of course. Like if you make them really sweet and hyper palatable, they're not as much of a weight loss food. But the idea is you're using these as tools to add in healthy fats to your diet, which is kind of hard to do, especially if you're just starting a keto diet. Making fat more of an emphasis as opposed to like fat as a lever. It's an afterthought type of a thing.
Yeah.
I think that helps. And it makes the diet sustainable long term. I've been doing this diet for 4 years and I still have these in the freezer like every day.
For me, they're very palatable and they're very delicious. An actual fat bomb that would be filling, that's not too tasty, would just be a tablespoon of butter.
Well,
it's
so
too good for
what
me.
I would say with the fat bombs is there's a little bit of a lag time on the satiety. It's not as immediate as when you're just like eating salad and rice cakes and stuff.
Yeah, fat bombs are just a treat for me. So like if I'm having fat bombs, it's not to like up my fat and like, you know, to just really get full. It's like, because I want something delicious, but I also don't want to, you know, eat a baked good, which is going to like, I don't know, set me over the edge.
Number 5 is going to be seafood.
Mm-hmm.
And seafood is definitely really filling. I think for a few reasons. Usually most seafood is low fat, high protein, 0 carb. Foods like that, protein tends to be the most filling macronutrient. So if you're having higher protein foods, it's filling. Also, like most people don't love how seafood tastes. And like I like it pretty well, but I can eat an entire rotisserie chicken. I can't really eat a full school of like shrimps.
That's very true. So I've been doing salmon a lot lately. It is just very filling. And then we'll give you a bonus.
What's the bonus?
Because we do that. So this is maybe, you know, this is a little fun. Do eat mug cakes, but there's a caveat. I'm not going to say just go and eat any mug cake. I'm going to say it has to be the 4-ingredient mug cake we make. Protein powder, egg, butter, baking powder, and maybe some like water, liquid, some sort of liquid. That's going to make a really filling, dense mug cake, but it's not like so sweet and it's not too delicious as if you were to make like a brownie mug cake with chocolate chips and walnuts in it, you know?
Yeah, I would agree. Plus it's only like maybe 250 calories or something.
And it's really easy to whip up, so like you're not baking a whole, you know, tray of brownies and then need to eat all of them.
I got a little bonus too.
7.
Dark chocolate. Because you can't really eat a ton of it. Even if you're a savage like me, maybe like half of a bar. And
I almost sat down with an entire bar.
I know.
And because I was like, I can fit into my macros. Matt was like, don't do it.
It's pretty satisfying as far as like the sweet tooth goes, where a lot of sweet foods are just gateways to more snacks all night long.
Even like savory. Like you just go, then you start going back and forth. It's like the, you know, if you eat French fries, then you need ice cream. Then you need French fries, then you need ice cream.
The back and forth.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to comment below, what would you put in each of these categories? Don't eat, do eat if you're trying to lose weight.
What do you disagree with us on?
Thanks for watching.
Bye.